Hello and welcome back, Cozy Club. We've got ourselves a first thoughts and impressions video for both Raya and Namari. We've gotten a ton of testing done for Namari. We did a full stream of about 3 hours and good gosh, she is absolutely crazy. She's gonna have her own video altogether on Namari just to highlight exactly what makes her great. But on today's video, I want to go ahead, let's check out the kits for both Raya, Namari, talk about where I see them kind of synergizing and fitting in, and my first impressions on the characters. Now, we don't, as of this video, have hands on Raya. It's going to take a while to get her, especially all the way up to 7 stars and ready for meta testing. However, Namari is up there with some of the best villain characters in all the game. Easily, I think I can already rank her where I think she's going to land in the tier list, which we're going to be doing next week. Let's go ahead. Let's jump right into the first thoughts and impressions of both Raya and Namari, starting out by looking at their kits. Alright, Cozy Club, so as always, we're going to do our first impressions. Let's go ahead and scrub their kits, see what kind of came out into the game and what they look like at max level. Now, first, just looking at Namari here, Namari's kit is definitely something that's going to fit perfectly for the villain faction, and honestly, she's a lot more plug and playable than you might think. Going to start off, let's take a look at her basic ability. Fang Strike, she's going to be dealing up to 1500 damage to the target opponent 2 times, so a nice little 3k damage there. Gaining Unstoppable, so she can't be silenced or get other debuffs that are going to really affect the way she plays. Next up, you've got Sorcerer's Fangs, and this is going to be her first special. Now, both of her abilities have a great number of use to them. Sorcerer's Fang is going to deal up to 5000 damage, not to just the target opponent, but the flanking enemies as well, so you're going to be doing a nice bit of damage to an entire row. On top of that, you're going to be flipping haste over to slows, which is great with all those big hero 6 teams out there, and Elsa and those other characters that continually put haste out on the battlefield. This character is also going to have adjacent villain kingdom synergy by giving them the following buffs: offense up for 1 turn, and then she's also going to have an 80% chance to cleanse 1 harmful effect. So this is great, like if you have a Mother Gothel behind you that's silenced, you're able to go ahead, cleanse that up, deal some nice bit of damage, and also flip those haste into slows, turning them from getting 50% extra speed to 50% slower on the battlefield. For her next ability, let's go ahead and check it out. It is going to be Burn Them Out. Now, Burn Them Out is going to be dealing what looks like not a lot of damage, but the increase of damage potential with Villain Kingdom teammates is definitely going to take her to the next level. Now, first of all, you got 1700 damage twice. This is going to bump up by up to 50% bonus damage per Villain Kingdom teammate, which, if you don't know the other Villain Kingdom teammates, you've got powerful Kingdom villain characters like Mother Gothel, Sheriff of Nottingham, and then also people like Jafar and Shan Yu. Now, you also have got Gaston and some other characters you're not going to really use too much in battle, but there are better Villain Kingdom teammates, and there's only room to grow, with Maleficent eventually coming out to the game. And so, again, we like investing in characters that are going to be useful down the line. Now, looking at the rest of her kit, each time an opponent evades damage from this ability, which you're going to see happen a lot with those Hero Armada evades out on the field all the time, she's going to gain 1 magic and, in addition, 5% speed meter. Namari is also going to give adjacent Villain Kingdom teammates defense up for 2 turns, giving them a little bit of extra survivability, or giving Sheriff of Nottingham another buff so that he can do some big nuking damage. Now, let's go and let's take a look at the best part of her kit, and that is going to be her passive, Cozy Club. This is really what is just absolutely nuts about Namari. Again, she's going to get her own video, but Warrior of the Fang, let's just break it down nice and easy. Each time Namari receives damage in a given turn, she's going to get 15% less damage per attack. So people like Hercules or Beast, all those counters that are racking up, are not going to do as much damage, giving her a big amount of survivability considering her health pool isn't the highest in the game. This is going to go up to almost 50% damage mitigation. Pair this up with someone like Pegasus too, and you're looking at a ton of damage mitigation. On an opponent falling below 30% health, this is really what you guys want to pay attention to. When you are fighting your enemy and they drop to that 30% health line, Namari is going to assassin them and completely deal up to some massive damage with 20% bonus crit chance per villain kingdom teammate. Oh, and in addition, the attack is unavoidable. Now, without giving too much away, this is what completely makes Namari shine. She's able to completely nuke down the teams. If you've got a big AoE team, even if it's Hero Hamada and Gogo, Namari's going to be able to assassinate them with ease and quickly take them down. Namari can pair perfectly with villains, with Kingdom, but with anything really that hits some heavy damage, because she can do just that little bit of extra damage with critical strikes to take down and finish the job. This is great for Cauldron and a lot of other spells, but again, we'll touch more into this when we make that Namari video. Now, Cozy Club, as always, the abilities are great, but let's take a look at what Namari is like maxed out. Now, looking quickly here, you can see she's got powerful offense. This is with a 15% offense stone, which definitely is what I recommend to run on her, because her entire kit is built off these bonus hits and some devastating attacks. Her health is a little bit less than Ursula, but she makes up for that with her passive and survivability. And then take a look at that crit chance and crit power. Her crit chance, she'll be getting a critical strike about 1/4 of the time, and that crit power is absolutely devastating. So yes, offense stones, critical strike stones, and then also even critical chance stones are going to make a lot of sense on your Namari. I prefer the offense stone. You can go with just about any of them. Great tenacity to boot, and then that 128 speed that we're always looking out for. Now, Cozy Club, that was a lot to take in, but in short, both these characters are going to be really good. I think Namari's going to be a little bit better than Raya just because of who she synergizes with. But in short, her stats are great, her abilities are awesome, and you guys will find out everything else that makes Namari just an absolute home run. Now, the only thing that sucks about these characters is they're just extremely hard to unlock. Hopefully they get put into an exchange or somewhere a little bit easier that we can farm them. But let's go ahead. We've looked at Namari. Her first impressions are great. I'm going to be putting her most likely in that A+ category right before S. She's one of the best offensive characters in the game. But looking at Raya, the shining star of the movie, however, I don't know if she's going to be the shining star in DSA. Let's go ahead. Let's look at her abilities. Checking out her basic first, Protector Strike. She's going to be dealing up to 1,800 damage to the target opponent 2 times. 80% chance for the adventurer teammates to assist. Now, here's the thing, Cozy Club. We're going to have to get our hands on Raya to really test how she does and how her entire kit works. But she kind of is the opposite of Namari. They both kind of have a thing working for them. But with Raya, the thing that doesn't have me jumping up and down is who she synergizes with. Now, they didn't get princess tags. Apparently, they're not officially princesses within the movie. They were just called princesses. It's confusing to me as well. But looking at the adventurers, there's no adventurer that just jumps off the page. Now, I do think Moana is going to be a good pairing with Raya. She's going to be able to hit pretty hard and be called to assist a ton. So there is a weird match there, but the rest of them outside of the Rescue Rangers, just not a lot there. So I'm hoping, I think Raya is only going to get better as more adventurers come out into the game. But right now, that basic attack is going to call most likely Moana to assist each time. Now, next up, let's take a look at her first special. That's going to be Roll Tuk Tuk, which, if you haven't seen the movie, Tuk Tuk, probably the best part of that entire movie, bar none. She's going to be able to deal up to about 4,600 damage to the target opponent and flanking opponent rows, just like Namari, but instead of the haste, she'll be flipping defense up to defense down. Now, that's already not as great as Namari, because obviously slow and haste are a lot more impactful, but nonetheless, she'll be doing a similar technique to that. Now, this character and adjacent adventurer teammates are going to gain haste for 2 turns and also 40% speed meter increase. Now, 40% speed meter is a ton. And honestly, right now, where I'm going to probably try to test her out is something like a Moana Maui team, where you're going to have Maui really be the leader of that team. And then Moana is just going to get turn after turn with just being called to assist over and over through Raya. I really see Moana, Maui, and Raya being a perfect match made in heaven, and not really just leaning on all that adventurer team, but more of just exploiting how amazing Moana's offense is and having Raya call her to assist over and over. So Roll Tuk Tuk, pretty solid ability, and I really see Moana being sped up quickly to get Crashing Wave out there. I think she's going to pair great with the Oceanics. Next up, let's take a look at Warrior's Fury. This is her second special. She'll be dealing up to 1600 damage, again, just like Namari, 2 times, dealing 50% bonus damage per adventurer teammate. Now, if you do plan to use her with the Rescue Rangers and Moana, this ability is going to absolutely deal some massive damage. And in addition, she'll be flipping offense up to offense down, and the adventurer teammates are going to gain evasion. So a lot of buffs being passed around to her adventurer teammates. Again, the more adventurers that come into the game, the better Raya is going to be. Now, again, just like Namari, Raya's got an insane passive that works a little bit different. Now, Namari is always going to trigger with that 30% health threshold, but let's go ahead, let's read and check out Raya's kit, the Hero of Heart. Now, looking at the Hero of Heart, each time this character receives damage in a given turn, they're going to gain 15% of bonus evasion until the end of that turn, up to 45%. So essentially, the more you try to attack Raya, she's going to continue to gain evasion, and you're just not going to be able to hit her. So this is why I think Raya's passive is going to be insane. Now, if you look at it, if she does evasive attack, she's going to have a 50% chance to have the following happen. Now, first of all, she's going to gain stacks of evasion up to 3. She's going to gain 20% speed turn meter, so she'll be going quite often, as this passive only has a 1 turn cooldown. And then on top of all of this, she's going to be dealing 1800 damage 2 times and inflict stun for 1 turn. So this should be happening a good amount. She should be able to get a lot of stuns out there in the battle. I just don't know how that's going to compare to Namari, because there is a cooldown and because it's a 50% chance. Now, altogether, very strong on paper. We're going to have to see how it kind of flushes out once we get our hands on Raya. And again, I think she's going to get better as more adventurers come into the game. Now, some last notes about Raya. She did get her costume as a little kid ninja, which is absolutely sick. Wish Namari got that. And her speed is a whopping 135. With all that gaining of speed as well, I think she's going to be pretty legit. I think under either Pocahontas or a Maui lead, she's going to make a lot of sense, and I'm excited to get my hands on her. Now, again, Cozy Club, we're going to have a video following this one of Namari and her absolute insanity. There's just things that she was doing on stream that we were losing our minds about. What did I say? What did I say? She pairs great with so many different teams. Look forward to that video, guys. This was the kit breakdown and my first impressions. Altogether, we'll see how they fit into the game, and they have good building blocks to stack and build upon, being adventurers, who's probably going to be a tag we see more and more of, and then villains who continue to grow each and every day. So my complete first thoughts and my first impressions just wrapped up into a bow. I think Namari is going to be a little bit better. Raya does look solid. They're both way too hard to get, hoping we can get some different modes to be unlocking these freaking characters. On top of that, guys, let's go ahead and just say the Kingdom faction has a great future ahead of it, and I continue to encourage, guys, farm those villain characters. They just seem to get better and better, and we know we have more villains to come. So villains and Kingdom are going to be a little bit on the rise. Look out for the Namari video. If you enjoyed the video, guys, stop for a second, like today's video. If you haven't, subscribe to the Cozy Club. And until next time, stay cozy.